Let me tell you something. A driver don't pick the car. Car pick the driver. It's a mystical bond between man and machine. It's a mystical bond between man.
What's up, you beautiful collectors and action figure fans? It's the one and only Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Dropkick. A new figure from the upcoming Transformers Bumblebee movie. For the package, very similar to all the other Studio Series figures, you got that really nice box-style package that has the open window here that fully showcases the figure. You got gorgeous images of Dropkick right there in the front and then along the side. Come around to that side. I don't know why they can't put a Decepticon logo there, but they haven't done it in any of these. You come around the back of the package, you got other figures that are currently available. As this is a Studio Series figure, it is a big screen inspired in terms of scale, detail, and it includes a backdrop, which apparently is the Autobot Pursuit. And then you can see images of Dropkick in his robot as well as his vehicle mode. And then he transforms in 24 steps. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Dropkick opened up and out of his packaging. And obviously, as you can tell, I got him in his vehicle mode. Now starting off first, he does come with a backdrop. Very similar to all the ones that we've seen before. You just got the Studio Series number and tag here on the side. This is from the new Transformers Bumblebee movie, which I'm really excited about seeing. And you can see that is like an air battle scene. Very blurry. Honestly, I mean, like a couple of these are like in focus, but everything else kind of looks like it's all blurred and everything. So you can have him shooting stuff up. So get that out of here. And then taking a look at the figure. As you can see, he's, well, a helicopter. Kind of looks like Airwolf. Ding, 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 you know, got a little propeller. One thing that it doesn't spin freely. Like this one spins perfectly fine. Like you can hit it and it'll just diddly-doo, diddly-doo, diddly-doo. This one though, nothing. You gotta hold it down. And then I also don't understand why it angles forward. It really doesn't come in handy in vehicle robot mode. So I don't understand why you need to do that, but that's kind of weird. But overall, this is a really nice helicopter mode. You got a nice gun here in the front. You got the little missile pods on the side. These will detach and become his weapons in robot mode. Great paint detail throughout the whole thing. You can see you got like a little skull and crossbone detail right there. The Air Force little logo right there, 001, danger. Some nice paint applications and molded in detail, which does look pretty good. I'll be honest, it's one of the best helicopters that I think that we've gotten before, and honestly, this is his best mode, and that's a little bit unfortunate. Now, from what we've seen, he is a triple changer, but obviously he's not a triple changer here. He's just this helicopter, which, you know, it is what it is. But for what we have, I'm pretty happy with it. You do have some like visible hands right here in the back, but they kind of blend in pretty decently and don't really stick out unless you really look at it from the top where you can see the holes. But overall, I mean, I am really quite happy with it. Now, there are some issues that I do have. One being, I forgot which one it is. One of these, like, pops off really easily, and that kind of stinks. These bits right here are attached via ball joints. You can see the ball joint section right here. During transformation, these will probably pop off, and that will drive me nuts. But those are all kind of quality control issues that I feel are not necessarily indicative of how all the figures are going to be. So hopefully it's something that is different on everybody's. But this is really one of the best helicopters that we've gotten. A lot of times they transform very, very similarly. This guy actually does some really cool things for the transformation. So starting off first, we're going to remove these little bits, and they can be a little bit tough to get to, but take this off, and yeah, these I'm not too overly thrilled with how those tab in. And then we're going to just kind of bend everything, lift this up, kind of separate all of this just like that, and then come around here to the underside and split this down the middle. Come around to the back, and that'll kind of split all the way across. take this section, lift these up, and then, like I said, these are very loose on here, and will probably pop off. This one a lot more so than the other one. Just kind of lift that up and get that out of the way. And then you have this entire section here. You want to rotate this out from the main portion of the body. Lift that like that, and then you can angle these down and around. Go ahead, fold that down like that. Then rotate these around, making sure that these sections here stay as square as possible so that it clears everything. So spin that all the way around just like that. You can bring these down, and we're going to create the legs. Now this is going to be the front of them. So take this section right here, rotate that around. That brings his knee in that backwards position that you need it to be. Do that on the opposite side as well. Take this, fold this up, and then take this whole section here. This is going to rotate around, and this will collapse in and then collapse this down as well. And then you can connect these legs just like that, and you'll see how that basically goes. So again, take the, well, this side is different. You have the little gun there. You have to tuck that away. Pull this up, rotate this section around, come around here, take the little skid thingy, fold that back, take the little wing thing, fold that back like so, and then push these legs in, locking that into place. And there you have the legs done. Come around here to the back. Again, this piece here will get a little bit floppy. Separate this down the middle, and then rotate these down. These again, I mean, you can see just how floppy that is. Again, I really hope that that's just on my copy and you guys don't have to deal with that. Kind of rotate that around so the blue sections are up at the top. Bring this down, and then this whole section here, keep this lifted up. This whole section will sit right there, and get that out of the way. Bring that all the way, that's just going to come off. Bring that all the way down, just like so. Get these arms kind of out of the way like that, and then this whole arm section here hinges up, and we'll tab in slightly along the intersection here. So again, rotate that up, get these arms out of the way, and that will sit there along that side. Take this section, rotate that down, lock that into place, come around here to the back. These little bits here, fold those up along his back bit like that. You can take these propellers, bend these, and this is what I was saying, like, it seems like it bends the wrong way. Like, I would like it better if it could bend outward, but instead it bends down, so that's weird. Take these are probably going to pop off again, but put that on there. I can fix that with some floor polish. Fold this down like so, rotate right here, and then fold this up and fold that down. Get that little propeller out of the way. There we are. So again, rotate here, or wait, no, opposite way, and then rotate that down. That brings his little fist out. I really do wish that these tab in, but they don't. And then fold that down. These just kind of hang out there. And then kind of position all of this as best as you can. Keep that along the side. Keep this up again. I wish, like, I mean, you can see it bends down. I wish it would bend back. That would be a lot better. But when you're done, there you have Dropkick in his robot mode. And this is where I think the figure kind of gets a little bit meh. And well, you know, he looks pretty decent. I just feel like he's fairly anorexic, I guess. I mean, the helicopter is pretty small, so it's going to yield a smaller looking robot. I'm not overall thrilled with his proportions. Now, I did talk about his weapons. These are how they look in his vehicle mode. They're little like missile things. It's very hard for me to use it to get the guns to transform, but you got to wedge this piece out and spin that around, and do that on this side as well. You can see it's just got these little friction tabs right here that allow you to rotate it, but there's not much of a area to grab that. You don't have fingernails nearly as functional as I do. So there's his little guns, and you can put them right there. You can have them hold in that hand as well. And I like that. I think that that really helps to make the weapons functional looking, and they work nicely in both modes. Just, I mean, he just feels very spindly and almost fragile to a degree. Obviously, these bits right here are really very flimsy and loose. I do wish that these bits tabbed in. This not so much, but I wish that this would lock into place. As it is, they don't. They just kind of sit there, and then you have these little pieces here in the back that are fairly flimsily attached as well, that kind of move around. So I didn't have that in all the way. So I'm not overly impressed with not necessarily the quality. The plastic feels good, but I feel like he's just kind of lacking in a lot of respects. The face sculpt looks good. Paint applications are, again, lacking on them. You just got this blue head with some silver. Kind of looks like there's some red eyes in there, but with all the paint detail that we're getting on like the Siege figures, this kind of feels like, again, it's lacking. Good detail with the chest, though. I like it. The gray is not bad. A splash of color would have been nice to break things up. You got some black in there and everything, which works okay. Then you come down to the legs. Legs probably are the best looking detail on them. I mean, you got these nice little bits right here. Good sculpted in detail for the thighs. And then obviously you get a lot of junk down here for the feet. But it's just fairly thin looking. I'm just not overall super impressed with this guy. And that's weird because the helicopter mode is fantastic. Like I said, it's probably one of the best looking helicopter modes. And the transformation is really nice. It's really unique and really does show off some terrific engineering. It's just the end result of the robot mode, is just not something that I'm super thrilled about. Now, for some size comparisons, I'm just gonna set him here, and here you have him next to the Studio Series Bumblebee, and you can see that despite the fact that I was talking about how small Dropkick here is, Bumblebee is still considerably smaller. So that's what they're going with in terms of the size for these new movie figures. For a comparison, though, here is the Deluxe class Sideswipe from the new Siege line. And you can see a considerable size difference going from the movie aesthetic to these guys. Now, for his articulation, the head, I want to say it's just on a swivel. You can get it looking left and right, but not a lot. Well, I mean, I guess it can kind of go all the way. I can't tell if it's a ball joint, but it's really stiff. The shoulders here, as part of the transformation, have a hinge, and then you also have a ball joint that you can rotate around, and then you can see you get a little bit of rotation with it because of that large opening for the socket section. So you get a pretty good range of motion there. I have seen some people transform them rotate that around like this. I feel that makes them look a little bit more thin. I think that this looks a little bit better, so I'm going to leave it like that. You can see you got a swivel here at the elbow. You have a hinge at the elbow. Nothing at the wrist. That's all locked into place. Nothing at the waist. The hips here do have ball joints in them, so you get a nice range of motion with that. Does rotate at the upper part of the thigh. The knees bend. Nothing at the ankle. That's all locked into place. So pretty average articulation, I would say, for the most part. Not bad. It covers all the basic elements that you would want. I do wish, like I said, that these bits would all lock into place. Just overall, I feel like the figure is decent, just really not that good. The transformation is solid. The helicopter mode looks good. Just he kind of falls apart here in the robot mode. Now, transforming him back into his helicopter mode, first we're going to just take these arms and extend these out on both sides just like so, and then take him here at the elbow and rotate that around so that you create a nice smooth surface. Do that on this side as well. Helps if you bend the elbow and then get a little bit of leverage to rotate it around. Come on here to the chest section, fold this little bit forward, and then you can lift this up, and that exposes the chest area. And you want to take this and you can angle this back, but you want to fold this back just like that. Do that on this side, fold that down and around like so. All of this is going to come together here in a bit, but we'll fiddle with that here in a bit. You want to take these legs, kind of straighten these out down like so, and at any point in time really you can do this, but you can rotate this around, just making sure to keep everything flat so that the thighs fit all the way through. And then you can take this, lift this up, collapse that just like so. Come down here to the legs. You want to rotate here at the thigh, then take this, kind of lift that away, spin this around like so. You can then take this outer section, fold this up, and this section here will rotate up as well. You can take that, fold that all the way out just like that, and then that's gonna come up around here. So kind of fold that. That's where you're going to need it positioned, but you can fiddle with that later on. Rotate that around. Go ahead, loosen this from the side a little. Rotate this piece around. Take the little wing section, fold that down, and then bring the little tire, or not the tire, but this little guy, bring that out just like so. Then fold this all the way out just like that. And we're going to come around here back to these wings. I kind of have everything as a mess. I'm sorry. Get these little bits out of the way. They may pop off. I'm just warning you. Fold all this down and they probably will pop off. Kind of spin that around just like that. Then you can squeeze all this together. It will probably not want to tab in perfectly secure, but you'll be able to fiddle with that later on. These little bits, I actually moved those already down on accident. They're up like that. Fold these little pieces down like so. Then you got these. Now we're going to bring this up, and then this is the one. Yeah, you want to make sure you fold out the little gun, and then you bring his thigh back. Kind of tricky to do, but kind of push his thigh inside here. There we go. And bring that in just like that. And then you got a little tab section underneath here that will lock into place right there. And that does kind of help hold the rest of the stuff here together. And I'll push this up. And there you basically have one side of the helicopter done. You can take this, and then you got a little tab here that locks things in there. Just push that in just like so. Go around to the other side. Keep that up for right now. Hinge this up. Take this thigh section, collapse that into the cavity here, just like that. Bring this all the way up. And then again, you got the little tab sections down along the bottom. Then you just kind of squeeze everything along the way, lining everything up, pushing everything in, making sure everything tabbed in together nicely. Squeeze this bottom section. Again, just double checking everything. These little bits here do not like staying where they need to stay. Again, there we go. Collapse that all the way in, just like that. Bring this around. Bring that. Lock that into place. You can fold this out. You can just kind of go through, make sure everything is squeezed together fairly nicely. There, keep that. Come on. Does that actually tab in right there? I feel like that should be tabbing in. And it doesn't seem to want to, so just kind of hold all that. I'm looking to see if I have that. There we go, something like that. Perfect. So set that there. Then you take these little guns, again, fold that around, come around here to the other side, and peg that in there. Do that with this one. Pull that around, tab it up, and there you have them back in helicopter mode. And then just kind of straighten all this. And like I said, I think that the helicopter mode is really very solid. It's probably the best of his two modes. It really does look cool. I kind of wish that these were a little bit longer because it does make him fall back. But overall, a really cool helicopter. The transformation is actually really nice. There's a lot of stuff that they're doing with it that is quite impressive, honestly. I like how everything kind of rotates here. The arms collapsing into the middle section here is really cool. A lot of really good elements. It's just that robot mode, I'm just not feeling it, honestly. It doesn't have just a, I guess, good aesthetic. I don't know. There's just something about it that I'm not a big fan of. 2 out of the 3, I mean, I've always talked about how Transformer toys are basically 3 things in one. You get a toy vehicle, you get a toy robot, and you get a puzzle in terms of the transformation. I feel like the vehicle mode here is really good. The puzzle aspect is really fun, but the robot does suffer. So I give him, like 2 out of 3 stars, I guess. I wish he was a little bit better, but I mean, he's a movie toy. A lot of times the robots are kind of weird looking, so I guess just got to get used to it. But all that being said, guys, if Dropkick here is a figure that you'd like to add to your collection, he is hitting various retailers right now. So if you're looking for him, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, there's places such as Big Bad Toy Store. For that, I'll put a link down in the video description where you'll go to BBTS and you can check out availability on this guy as well as the rest of the wide range of Transformer figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Remember, if you like this video, I would really appreciate your support, guys, simply by hitting that thumbs up button. Believe it or not, it actually does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would really appreciate it. And a huge thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this review. Another way that you can really help support my channel is making sure that you watch a video all the way through. And if you did that, thank you. Also, a huge shout out to all of my patrons, who through their continued support, now more than ever, help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like information on how you can become a patron and help support my content, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/Optibotimus. And finally, remember, the real trouble with the world is too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.